And you got this new record coming out. I Found the Sun Again. What's that title about?
Well, that was written for my new girlfriend, but I'm also me letting go of the past and the negativity that went with it, and took some time for myself to rethink how I want to live the rest of my life on the back five. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how much I got. I mean, my friends are dropping like flies, and I'm still not over the loss of Ed, because we were dear friends for over 40 years, and that crushed me.
Yeah. Well, I just
I've
saw the
also
picture you
lost three
posted
of
on
my other
Twitter a
best
couple.
friends. I've lost three of my other best friends in the last year and a half. And, the wagon starts circling around. You start going, okay. I keep going to the doctor going, okay, all right, I'm okay. He goes, you're really okay, man.
Yeah. No,
But, I don't know. I still love doing what I'm doing. I miss doing it, So I was able to make the record. And I was also, encourage Joseph to finish his and get him a deal on the same label.
mm,
And then we're coming out the same day. And we thought after David and I lost this lawsuit over the our name, which should have been taken care of in 1977, but wasn't, and somehow blamed on me. And I'm not going to get into it because I get sued every time I fart,
yeah.
and so I got to be real careful who I'm dealing with here.
So you
The
lost
fact
the
of the matter is,
lawsuit.
we spent all this money, we have all these legal fees. I should use the name Toto that I've been in for 45 years and all 15 incarnations. 1-5. That's right. You heard it from me. That means changing one member, or a different singer, or a different, the loss of guys to death tragically, and or retirement or medical reasons, or they really did retire. Like
Yeah.
they were older than me. I was the youngest guy in the band. I've been the only guy that's ever been in all 15 incarnations. And David Page stands with Joseph and I. And he
Mm,
said, even though medically he can't do the world tours and stuff, he's still at every rehearsal, being our musical director, and he's going to sit in on a few things during the live cast, which is, the thing about these live casts is, like, we're not like, Celine Dion or something with this mega production. This is to show off the new band and what it's all about with the new players. It's pretty stark. We're doing the best we can with it, but we just basically rented a soundstage, put up some cameras, and played the show. The
right.
shorter version we leaned a little bit on the Toto catalog to prove the guys could play it, and so the fans could see it one time. And it's a one-time showing only thing, and it's raw, but it's real. And
Mm.
that's what's important. I mean, at my age, nobody's showing up to see how my ass looks in the jeans. You know what I mean? I'm just lucky people show up. You know what I mean?
And so it's Toto.
Well, yes and no. Yes,
Okay.
yes, it is semantically, and that's how it's being advertised. And me and Joe are the only ones left, and I own 25% of the name, and so does David Page, and he stands with us.
Hmm.
And we wanted to put a band together to go out, not only to pay our legal bills and pay ourselves back what was taken from us in
Mm.
this insane lawsuit. Um, we want to play. And so Joe and I both made solo records, and we were going to go out together as Luke and Joe.
Right.
And then Paige goes, I forget who brought it up. I said, well, we paid for the freaking name. If we never use it, we're never going to be able to pay back. We got to pay back these bills without having to take it out of my own pocket.
Mm.
And okay, well, there's been 15 incarnations of the band. So this one's still got the singer and me standing in front, along with X, who played with Prince and was with us on the last thing. And we got Warren Ham back, who's the multi-instrumentalist singer guy.
Mm.
But we got a new second keyboard player, Steve Majori, who sings really high but has a Ray Charles vibe to it. And he plays great keyboards. And we got my first friend in life, John Pierce, who's a studio guy and played with Huey Lewis for years, and Huey's not working anymore.
Mm.
And um, and we got Sput, man, from who used to be, believe it or not, was Snoop Dogg's musical director for 10 years, but was also in Snarky Puppy, which is like the young version of the Hot Guys, like when we were young, like they're
Mm.
doing all the cool shit. They're a little more jazzy than we were. I'm big fans of their work. And he's a powerhouse, and he just also listens to metal and all this other stuff. So
Nice.
he's got a hard edge to him, but he's got wicked ass chops, man. Like, you know what I mean? And he was in Ghost Note, which is an offshoot of one of those of Snarky Puppy.
Mm.
They were with X, our keyboard player. So he said, I got a guy. And I said, yeah, because I couldn't afford, because I have to pay
All
off
that
the
money.
gross to the people besides David and I that own the name. How's that for a nice way to put it? While they're sipping martinis at the golf lounge,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever,
You're sitting there
and
wondering, like,
and
why am I paying
and
you?
that comes out of the gross, which is where the profit is.
Well,
So
yeah.
that everybody thinks like Madonna makes $500 million on a tour, like she gets to take that check home, like she doesn't have to pay for the 200 trucks and the 200 and 400 people on the road, salary, insurance, taxes, and all the shit, and how much it costs to put people on the road, pay salaries and all that stuff. So I mean, it's expensive. So I mean, what you take home every night, I mean, that does affect it. So I had to get some guys that were badass that weren't, but didn't charge the studio guy wages.
Right.
I
That
love
makes
the guy.
sense.
And there was also some people who didn't get along, and a guy that just didn't want to be on the road ever and was there making that known every night. And it was just excruciating. That's why it ended in Philly. And I said, this version's done. I never said it was over. And Toto made zero money last year in terms of new money. We didn't do anything. So the name is like, okay, if you don't use the name, it doesn't bring any money in except for past royalties from record deals made when we were 19 years old.
Right, right.
And the issue with the name was brought up because it wasn't dealt with back then and somehow dumped in my lap after I took over management, after having three of the biggest in the business screw up our business and finances and didn't do what they were supposed to do, like copyright the name in 1977. That would have been a book one management move, huh?
Right.
And you find this out later, it got screwed up after Jeff died, and then instead of a phone call, we got served with papers like we were stealing money, and that was proven not true, and they never took it back. But whatever, life goes on. I realize some people in this world just going to hate me because they do. I don't know.
That's it, man. Haters gonna hate, as Taylor Swift
Haters are
sang.
going to hate. I just don't want to pay money for it anymore.
No, that's it. Why should you have to pay money for it? You worked hard for that shit.
I mean, it's not like, here's the thing. I didn't write Africa.
Mhm.
David Page and Jeff Porcaro, and Jeff Porcaro's widows made 5-figure millions off of this, and I have made nothing off of it. So why is Mike's wife angry when she benefited? The reason why we got back together was to help Mike when he was suffering through ALS. I mean, these people joined forces against the guys that made everybody, against David Page, who made everybody their first big money by him and Jeff putting the band together. And now it turns into this, let's all hate Steve Lukather and blame it on him shit. And I'm like, not doing it anymore. Too old for this shit. I don't know how much longer I got left, judging by my friends. Even though I'm, led a clean life the last 11 years, there were the holy shit years too. They tell me I had a great time.